On the 7th October, Finance Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz has tabled the national budget for year 2023 in the Parliament, with the increasing in allocation of 372.3 billion ringgit compared from previous year 332 billion ringgit allocation for year 2022. It is expected to boost the welfare of Keluarga Malaysia and focus on the country economy's recovery and the socio-economic development. Accordingly, the Ministry of Finance has declared the themes of Budget 2023 to be strengthening recovery, facilitating reforms towards sustainable socio-economic resilience of Keluarga Malaysia. Good morning Malaysia, I'm Moses from the Insurance Guys. Today, let us look at some of the key highlights from Budget 2023 that we should know. Number 1. The estimation growth of Malaysia economy. Malaysia economy is estimated to grow 6.5% to 7% in 2022 and 4% to 5% in 2023. Fiscal deficit expected to shrink to 5.5% of GDP in 2023 from 5.8% of GDP in 2022. Federal government revenue expected to drop 4.4% to 272.57 billion in 2023 from a growth of 22%, which is 285.22 billion in 2022. So what is the government allocation and initiative towards recovery and sustainable socio-economic growth in budget 2023? There is 372.3 billion ringgit allocated under budget 2023, which 272.3 billion for operating expenditure, 95 billion for development expenditure, 5 billion for COVID-19 fund and 2 billion for contingency savings. Ministry of Finance is the biggest recipient of budget 2023 allocation at 67.2 billion, followed by Minister of Education 55.6 billion and Ministry of Health 36.1 billion. These three constitute 43.3% to total budget expenditure. 18.3 billion allocated to Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Defence to get 17.4 billion allocation. And for your information, 1 billion ringgit grant for one-off 1,000 ringgit aid to all registered micro, small and medium enterprise and registered taxi drivers to benefit 1 million recipients. Bank Negara Malaysia also to allocate 10 billion ringgit funding for SMEs for automation, digitalization, tourism and agriculture. Semarak Niaga 2023 is enhanced with a total value of 45 billion compared to the 40 billion announced for 2022. This value includes direct loans, alternative financings and financing guarantees. Guarantee limit of up to 9 billion via Business Financing Guarantee Company to make it easier for SMEs to get financing. Securities Commission Malaysia will introduce special training program for women's skills level to increase number of women eligible to be appointed as board members. MSMEs to get income tax reduction to 15% from 17% for the first 100,000 ringgit. At the same time, 256 million ringgit in monsoon season assistance to small rubber farmers. This will benefit 320,000 small farmers in Malaysia. Besides that, 500 million will be allocated under B&M Tourism Financing Funds. Government targets the arrival of more than 15 million tourists with income value of 47.6 billion in 2023. 1.8 billion ringgit allocation for building of new hospital, clinics and facilities as well as for procurement of medical equipment. 4.9 billion ringgit to expand capacity of public health services up to 12% from 2022. And Petronas to contribute 2 billion ringgit to Kumpulan Wang Amanah Negara Fund for 2023. 1 billion ringgit allocation for Bank Negara Malaysia Agro-Food Financing Scheme to help the SME increase in agro-food production. Government to provide 30 million ringgit to Malaysia Core Investment Fund, and government also proposed to expand scope of tax incentive for individual investor in startups companies via equity crowdfunding. Supplementary e-food plan rate raised from 2.5 ringgit to 2 ringgit in Peninsula and from 3 ringgit to 4 ringgit in Sabah, Sarawak and Labuan. Bantuan awal persekolahan aid will be extended to all pupils irrespective of their parents' income level, and Khazanah to invest 1 billion ringgit under Dana Impact in 2023 230 million ringgit for investment in locally owned high-tech companies, 700 million allocated to flood mitigation plans, 73 million ringgit to improve Malaysia's cyber security by strengthening monitoring detection and reporting of threats, as well as building cyber forensic system capabilities. 15 billion ringgit allocation for flood mitigation plan till 2030. This is a long-term strategy throughout the country to adapt on the climate change. Government at the same time will extend tax deduction of up to 1.5 million ringgit for listing expenses involving ACE and LEAP markets until assessment year of 2025. Government will also expand tax deduction for companies to include the listing cost of tech-based company on the main market of Bursa Malaysia. 100 million ringgit allocation to domestic investment strategic funds to support the development of domestic tech-based company. Government proposed special status for Pengeran as well as chemical and petrochemical industry investment to develop Pengeran as the petrochemical hub. Government to provide 700 ringgit as special financial assistance to 1.3 million civil servants grade 56 and below, and 350 ringgit to 1 million government pensioner next year. These provisions will amount to 1.3 billion ringgit. 145 million allocation for maintenance and upgrading and construction for sports facilities in Malaysia, and 102 million ringgit allocation for digital content funds to help the marketing of artistic products. 364 million allocation for R&D under Ministry of Higher Education and Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, and 2.6 billion ringgit allocated to Federal Land Development Authority, which is FELDA, and Felcraft Berhad and Rubber Industry Smallholders Development Authority RISDA, and also 50 million allocated to Cradle Funds Riam Berhad. For the development of Sabah and Sarawak, 6.3 billion will be allocated to Sabah and 5.4 billion is for Sarawak for the development expenses. At the same time, exemption for import duties and excise taxes for import completely built out or CBU electric vehicle extended until December 31st, 2024. So get your Tesla now. 700 million allocation for National Digital Network Jendela in 2023 to implement digital connectivities in 47 industrial areas and nearly 3,700 schools. Digital National Berhad to expand 5G network nationwide to cover 70% of highly populated areas. Infrastructure expenditure allocation worth 1.3 billion ringgit in 2023. Approved permit or EP exemption for electric vehicles importation until December 31st, 2023. At the same time, manufacturers of EV charging equipment are given 100% income tax exemption on statutory income from assessment year 2023 to 2032 and 100% investment tax allowance. Extension of incentive application period for green investment tax allowance and green income tax exemption until December 31st, 2025 by increasing the incentive period to 5 years. Actually, previously is for 3 years. For eligible green activities including solar activities and batteries energy storage system. Government also plan to introduce carbon tax in the budget 2023 and will study the feasibility of a carbon pricing mechanism. To support the implementation of this mechanism, the government will provide 10 million ringgit as matching grant to help SME prepare for carbon assessment. 235 million ringgit financing will be available for women under the Semarak Nita BSN scheme, Tekun Nita, Tekun Dana Nita, Mara and Bank Rakyat Biz Lady to encourage more women to increase business capacity and improve marketing strategies. At the same time, government want to encourage more young people to do business. There will be 305 million ringgit allocation will be made available as a special loan facility for youth through SME Bank, Tekun Mara BSN and Agrobank. For 2023, 1.7 billion ringgit is to be made available as micro-loan funds and business facility for the benefit of small businesses. For Bumiputra entrepreneurs, the government via Teraju with a fund of 135 million ringgit will provide financing facilities, including under the Bumiputra Prosperity Funds. A total of 200 million also will be provided under the Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional Berhad (PUNB) to provide financing and entrepreneurship development programs for Bumiputras in the retails and distribution trade sectors. Extension of 100% stamp duty exemption on loan restructuring or rescheduling agreement or financing until 2024. The I-Saraan program will be extended to 2023 and improved by increasing the matching contribution from 250 to 300 ringgit. With allocation of 30 million ringgit, this is expected to benefit more than 100,000 contributors. The Public-Private Partnership PPP Master Plan 2023 to 2032 will be launched to introduce a new PPP model capable of driving infrastructure project based on user pay, example highways, and in-kind payment, example land swap, to support the implementation of high-impact PPP project in the infrastructure, social and security sectors. 250 million ringgit will be provided via the Infrastructure Facilitation Fund. The multi-tier levy for foreign workers is targeted to be implemented by 2023. Companies with a high numbers of foreign workers, such as the plantation and construction sectors, will be charged a higher levy rate. The government plans to redistribute the additional levy revenue to support employers' automations initiative. Meanwhile, in Budget 2023, the government plans to attract electrical and electronic sector investors affected by geopolitical uncertainty and supply chain disruption to relocate to Malaysia by extending existing tax incentive and 15% tax rate to C-suite level until 2024. Alright, before this is the government allocation and government initiative in how to drive our economy forwards towards the recovery after the COVID-19. Now, here is the most important part and might interest you, which is on how the budget 2023 will benefit you. From 2023, electricity bill subsidy of up to 40 ringgit will be provided for household with income of 1,169 ringgit and below, compared to the present of 980 ringgit and below. 2% income tax cut for 50,000 to 100,000 income bracket, but 0.5% and rise for income bracket of 250,000 to 400,000 ringgit annual income. 2,500 ringgit for Bantuan Keluarga Malaysia, which is the highest one-off assistance for household with 5 children or more with income of less than 2,500 ringgit per month. 235 million ringgit will be allocated towards the funding women entrepreneurs. For young people, 400 million ringgit will be allocated to e-Pemula for one-off of 200 ringgit credit to e-wallet for those aged 19 to 20 years and full-time student aged 21 and above. And for parents who are paying for daycare and kindergarten fees will get 3,000 ringgit tax write-off for tax assessment year 2024. As for M40, the e-Pemula initiative will be given worth of 100 ringgit e-wallet credit for the M40 group with annual income below 100,000. This will benefit 8 million individuals. Budget 2023 provide 55 billion ringgit for subsidies and social assistance and incentive women to be exempted from income tax for assessment years of 2023 to 2028 to encourage them to return to work after taking a career break. 150 million ringgit allocated to employment incentive under Perkeso for as much as 600 ringgit to 750 ringgit a month for 3 months to the vulnerable. And total holding limit for Amanah Saham Bumiputra ASB and ASB2 is increased from 200,000 ringgit to 300,000 ringgit. Those with annual income brackets of 250,000 to 400,000 and 400,000 to 600,000 to be subjected to 25% of tax rate. Middle income group gets up to 1,000 tax saving, high income group get up to 250 ringgit. Voluntary EPF contribution limit to be increased to 100,000 ringgit per year from 60,000. One-off 500 ringgit cash aid for mothers from Bantuan Keluarga Malaysia household who give birth in 2023. Government to bear costs for B40 youth to get taxi, bus, e-hailing licenses via My PSV program. Graduate with first-class bachelor degrees exempted from repaying PTPTN loans, and 3.8 billion ringgit allocated for scholarship and educational loans. 6.7 billion ringgit allocated to implement various technical and vocational education and training initiative through the National TVET Council. Government to gradually make self-employment social security schemes contribution mandatory for self-employed sectors from 2023. 1.5 billion allocated to upgrade old school buildings and infrastructure, especially in Sabah and Sarawak, and 1.1 billion ringgit allocated for schools repairs and maintenance. 3 billion ringgit for government guarantee to Syarikat Jaminan Kredit Perumahan that will help 12,000 borrowers. In relation to real estate transfer document and loan agreement for home worth more than 500,000 ringgit to 1 million, the stamp duty exemption will be increased from 50% to 75% until December 31st, 2023. Bantuan Keluarga Malaysia to be improved with an allocation of 7.8 billion ringgit to benefit 8.7 million recipients. Well, these are all the summaries and highlights for Budget 2023. To all Malaysians, although the Parliament dissolved and we are anticipating GE15, the Budget 2023 will not go in vain. According to MOF, the tabling of Budget 2023 is important as a policy reference for the business and investment sectors, as well as for the people and small and medium enterprises planning. With the tabling of Budget 2023, the government can continue to implement it in January 2023 as soon as the new government is formed after GE15. Hence, the new government can actually rely on the engagement process and the comprehensive budget 2023 in constructing the next steps in preparation for implementing various initiatives for the people, businesses and economy. That's all from me on Budget 2023. Thanks for watching. My name is Moses from the Insurance Guys. Have a nice day.